Yes, people, and welcome back to another video on the Bridge YouTube channel where we bring you all things Chelsea. You know who I am. I'm your host with the most Bridge Nation here today to give you a Chelsea transfer show. Make sure as you're coming in to like, share, subscribe. Helps me out and helps the channel out at the end of the day. Obviously, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're all having a wonderful day today. Lots to talk about, of course. A lot of news coming out from Chelsea. And, obviously, one of the things that we do on this channel is we sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride, as you guys know. And so if we didn't do that, man, some people would be getting, we would be communicating some wrong info, firstly. Secondly, we would be doing stuff that, I do not like to do around here. On the Bridge Nation, we keep our sources to 100%. We do not speculate. I repeat, we do not speculate on this football channel. So listen, that's not what we do around here. As always, we'll just make sure as you come in to like, share, subscribe. There's over 50 of you in here already. I actually need only 45 of you to subscribe right now, and I am at 3,000 subscribers. So please, 45 of you to subscribe to get me to 3,000 subscribers. Helps me out and helps channel out at the end of the day. So listen, let's actually talk. Let's all discuss that as well. Let me just say hi to some of you guys that's coming in. Big up to Dojo, Musa, big up to my boy Axe, Cole Palmer, big up to Mr. HD, big up to my boy Ryan, HA, calling me a fraud as usual. Listen, big up to my boy Quiz, big up to my boy Axe, EE, Kendurance. I hope you all do well. I hope you all have a wonderful day today. But listen, let's actually get to the news, obviously, that I've missed. Obviously, I was a little bit busy, but listen, the game's the game. We're here now, and we will discuss this all in rather good detail and, of course, in good fortune as well. But listen, let's bring up the first bit of news, of course. We are not going to dilly-dally any longer. Come on, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is what happens when you have, like, two dual screen chat. The dual screen, it's not helping the game. It's not helping the game, but listen, let's start with what happened yesterday, of course, and that is, of course, the big news, of course, which was, of course, in regards to So we got the first bit of breaking news. Chelsea made club to club contact of Ajax over Jorel Hato. Hato is ready to accept personal terms of Chelsea. We then got the news that Jorel Hato is wanted by several clubs, but he would be very keen to join Chelsea. Our one detail to add is that Chelsea and Ajax have great relations, and there could be room to discuss more players, like young Chelsea players going on loan. Ajax are famous for developing talent. And then we also have Hato's agent, Humphrey Nijman. Yes, the club have contacted Ajax. The only thing I can say is that Jorel is now going to talk to Chelsea. But then obviously go Hato is top target for centre back. He can also play left back. We then obviously get the bit of news here that Chelsea have made an official bid for Hato. Chelsea start club. Oh, we'll discuss that a little bit later. Hato's personal terms on the verge of being agreed. He has said yes to Chelsea project. We then obviously get this discussion that which is that Chelsea have reached an agreement on personal terms with Jorel Hato and the defenders asked Ajax to leave. Negotiations advancing into final stages as fee discussed now is around 40 million euros. Hato informed Ajax management and the manager of his clear desire to join. That's what he said. And then obviously this was about Ishe Samuel Smith, who were trying to sell to Strasbourg, being linked to Ajax. And then he said Jorel Hato could be here we go very soon, obviously. And I think that's pretty much it. Brian, obviously the news that came out today, which was just literally 5 to 6 minutes ago, which is that Ajax have registered a bid from Chelsea for Hato and have sent out a counter offer back to London. So that's currently what's going on right now in terms of negotiations. We'll now obviously swap from one Dutchman that plays in the Eredivisie to another Dutchman that plays in the German league, and that's Xavi Simons. And Xavi Simons himself, we'll discuss him right about. Where is he? We discussed him a little bit earlier. This is it. What's it called? RB Leipzig want to sign Kyle Chukwuka from Chelsea. Chelsea informed RB Leipzig that they want to sign Xavi, and a verbal agreement on first terms is now close. Obviously, we then obviously get me the next sort of bit of news in regards to him, in regards to this. So Xavi Simons, club to club very soon. Chelsea working fast and working quick. Good relations between clubs. Discussion salary with Simons. Any moment now, personal terms could be done. And then we obviously get the big news, of course, that Chelsea have always dreamed. Simons has always dreamed of a move to Chelsea. Football London understands. Simons was believed to be an avid follower of Chelsea growing up, and even had a trial at Cobham growing up. We then obviously get the bit of news here that says Chelsea start club to club talks for Simons and offer is expected soon. Have a buy and held talks today about the situation of Simons. Let's see if and how they respond. And then obviously we get the bit of news here that Chelsea are confident Chelsea can strike a deal to sign Simons, but also retain an interest in Alejandro Garnacho and Morgan Rogers. Right? We then obviously get a bit of news, of course, in regards to Simons, which is that we are still negotiating, of course, and that's pretty much, I think, the vast majority to news. We'll see what will happen, of course, at the end of the day. But big up to everyone that is here, of course. But that's the news in regards to Jorel Hato and Xavi Simons. Now, let me start obviously with Xavi Simons because, of course, we spoke about him a lot more recently. I don't even know Jesse Derry is, with all due respect, but big up to him. But listen, one of the things that I want to discuss start of Xavi Simons is that, again, there's been a lot of talk, obviously, that you'll see that Bayern are interested and intrigued. But I think for me, Bayern are still very much preoccupied, it seems, with the deal to get Luis Diaz over the line. Apparently, they're even trying to put in a bid as you speak right now for the player. So clearly, they are a lot more concerned about trying to get that deal done as of right now. So again, they've got that deal to do. Arsenal obviously are looking into this is the clearest line possible that Chelsea have. They've clearly agreed personal terms now. They're trying to negotiate a fee for Xavi Simons. I think for me, the more likely scenario of this, because the clubs have a great relationship, the clubs want this deal to get done. I would like to the club can get these deals done as soon as possible, and of course everything like that. Alexa, stop. Just give me 1 second, guys. I need to do my eye drop real quick. Yeah, give me 1 moment. Come on, where's my last one? Yes, whilst I'm waiting for my eyedropper to come. Well, that was a bit crazy. But like, listen, as I said before, I think Xavi Simons will probably be a Chelsea player. I think we'll get that double Dutch sort of thing that I know a lot of people are looking for and are asking for at the end of the day. I think for me, in terms of him and in terms of his quality, I don't think that there's that much to even be said about. I think he's a decent player from what it seems. He's got a quality. He's rated very highly. He hasn't really reached the levels that I think a lot of people have been asking for at the end of the day, but I still believe that he can reach that. He still has the potential to do that at the end of the day as well. So again, with Xavi Simons, I think it's just about the fee. Now it's been reported that they wanted 60 million, but it can go lower. I know that Chelsea have a good relationship with his agent. Maybe his agent can smooth things over with RB Leipzig and maybe get a better deal for us where we maybe have to play something around about 50 million euros or 50 million pounds, and maybe a good, add-on plan to make that sort of thing happen, which is one thing that we can definitely discuss about at the end of the day. The other thing that we can definitely talk about, of course, is the fact that, in my personal opinion, with Xavi Simons, that one, the other thing about Xavi Simons, of course, that we can talk about as well at the end of the day is that I think for me, how much are you willing to pay for him? What does the club value him at? I think for me, if you're looking at someone, Pies Ahmed too, what did he said? Oh, dear. What? No way! He can't be leaving my club! No! There's no way. I just read what I read. There's no way. Ain't no way, Jeff. I can't believe it. He might leave the club. I actually can't believe you're about to do something for Sterling, bro. Oh my god, no way. Say wallahi, bro. You know what's that mean? Say wallahi, bro. What's that word? Nah, nah, nah. This is not real, bro. Oh my, listen. Listen, man. I can't even lie to you, man. We're gonna get back to Javi Simmons, bro. Listen, if Conte does what he does for me today, mate, I promise you, I'm not taking you to the Hague for the second season of football that he gave me. I swear to God, yeah, I will forgive Conte for the football that he gave me in his second season that almost made me quit watching Chelsea. I was so close, yeah, to quitting that season. I was so close, yeah, to quitting that season, bro. You know how crazy it was? I was almost. I don't think people understand, yeah. That season under Conte, yeah, was a season from hell. People will tell you, no, 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 it's not that bad, all this not nonsense, bro. That season under Conte was hell. You know what I mean? Genuinely, like it was bloody hell, mate. It was dark days, mate. It was dark days. Just and this is obviously the news. Let me just make it bigger for everyone to see. By me, bang, 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 which is that just in Napoli have been offered the chance to sign Sterling and have asked for deal conditions. I think the question that you have to ask is, yeah, and I think good big up to Axe, big up to EE for bringing this point up. Before we all start getting giddy, does Sterling want to leave? One of the things that we need to speak about is that obviously Sterling's got a young family. One of the reasons he actually came back to Chelsea because it was his hometown, London. He wanted to stay there. He didn't want to leave to somewhere else. Same thing that it's even when he went to Arsenal, that was one of his priorities. It's so well and good that Napoli can find out about the deal conditions, trying to make something happen for him. But the question I have to ask myself, and we all have to ask ourselves, is: Is he going to be willing to go to Italy, to go to Naples? That is what you have to ask yourself, because if he's not willing to do that, then you're in trouble, bro. You can bring in any signing that you want, bro. You can bring in Leipzig, you can bring in all these other brothers from different leagues. But if he does not want to leave the country or want to leave London, then a lot of the time, all of the stuff we're doing right now is kind of pointless, with all due respect, because it's the decision of the player if he wishes to leave or not. So let's hope the player decides it's time for me to go, because otherwise, we could be in the same scenario or same miasma where we're not going to be able to move on from this. That's the one worry that you have to have, right? That's just me though. We move. Big up, Crook. Big up to you, Crook, too, man. Listen, Miami Heat fan calling me a crook. Have some respect. Have some respect. Have some shame. Have some cool, mate. Come on, stop. You know you would have the Italian. You would love the Italian lifestyle. Maybe if you pay him a fraction of his remaining salary, like United are doing with Sanch, maybe. But like, again, for me, for me, it's just about can we make that happen? We have to. I think that's the thing is we have to find a way where he needs to be happy to be leaving. Otherwise, bro, it is literally 0 point. I'll repeat to people here again. There is 0 point, bro. Sorry, at the end of the day, let's go back to Xavi Simmons here. I think Xavi Simmons deal will get done. I think it'll be for good fee, in my personal opinion, too. I think we'll probably sell it, buy him for 50 million. I think we'll buy him for 50 million pounds. That will be the fee for Xavi Simmons, in my personal opinion. So I don't know about you guys. Maybe you guys are thinking, oh, he's waffling again. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But I think for me, at the end of the day, he will be going for that price point. So listen, we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can make it happen. Next guy is Jorel Hato. Again, we needed someone to be back up to Marco Correa. We needed a centre back that we to add it to the squad. Now, I think the second centre back thing is a bit concerned. It's less of a concern because I do think Jorel Hato, my personal opinion, is more than likely, I think for me, a backup for Correa. Can he do a job in the background? Yes, he can. But listen, I think for me, you want him to be a backup for Kukuraya, improve there, make sure he improves the technical, make sure he's able to use technical ability to make stuff happen. So I think for me personally, I look at a lot of this stuff and I'm just like, guys, we know what we want from Jorel Hato, backup left back, can play centre back if we're in a tinch where maybe you have to pay Cole on the RCB, hit with the LCB well. Because like maybe Buddy Shaw's injured again as he always is. So listen again, my personal opinion, this situation is quite simple. Bring in Hato. I don't know what the fee's gonna be, but if you can get around about 40 million euros, I think that's a good deal, man. That's a decent deal. That is an amazing deal waiting to happen right now. The thing I would probably be making the argument for is that the RCB situation. I don't know about you guys. The RCB situation, man, it's looking a bit hollow. I feel like we can add to that. So, but we'll see what happens there and there. I need to look at something really quickly. Just give me a sec. Let me see. I'm worried about outgoings. I disagree. Again, if you look at outgoings right now, a lot of outgoings are happening. They're making the deals happen. So I tend to disagree, Joe. I think, listen, for once, I think unlike last year, what you think happened last season, in my personal opinion, was that they did a poor work in terms of outgoings. But this season, I think they've done their work. They've done the groundwork. I think they've worked with their agents as well, which has been a massive positive as well, right? Which has helped the team out, in my personal opinion, in terms of the movement, in terms of getting stuff done in a fast and speedy manner. So I think for me personally, I just look at that and I'm like, that's the club doing a good job. Did I reject? They counter offered. It's technically a rejection, but it's a counter offer. But that's what I would probably look at the end of the day. Big up to you, bro. What's going on? Christopher? Listen, I'm sorry, bro. Rudy Gletty's not really like he's not really a sauce man. That's like Brice Hilip, as I like to put it. Or in Somali, that's like just what rice and chips. So for me personally, that's not really something I'm looking at. I'm thinking, yeah, that's a real reliable source. But we move. But listen, double Dutch. Hopefully, we can make that happen. I think all of us here want that to happen. I think all of us here are feeling for that to happen. So let's try to make that happen at the end of the day. But guys, before we continue on, I am 40 away from 3K likes. So I am 40 away from 3,000 subscribers. 40 away from 3,000 subscribers. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Tell a friend. Helps me enough to turn on the day. Please, guys, 40 of you to subscribe to get me to 3,000 subscribers. Thank you very much. Now, yeah, I mean, listen, he can try to save us from that, but the reality is, and I said this before, is he wanting to leave? If we don't want to leave, then it's pointless. If we don't want to leave, it's pointless for us, for quantity to be doing this twerking. Oh, listen, again, I think for me, one thing I do want to talk about, by the way. The other thing I just saw right now, there's an argument just really quick. It's about Benfica trying to offer big money for João Felix, but they don't have money. So what does that mean? You don't have money, but you're trying to go big in for João Felix. So do you have the money or do you not have the money? They're trying to use Jorge Mendes to decrease the price as well, super agent Jorge Mendes. So again, I ask myself this question: what is big money? You know what I mean? What is big money? Because otherwise, man, they just spent 40 million euros on Richard Rios. Bro, you got the money to spend. You have the money to spend. So don't even try that shit with me, big man. Don't even try that with me. Exactly, but they got the money. They spend big money on Richard Rios. So therefore, you have money to spend. That's all I will say. The next one I will talk about, and I'll say this again, in terms of stuff that's, bro, Veiga, obviously, apparently we were a bit too money hungry and stingy and stuff like that in regards to Veiga. And then they got their main man. They were targeting this guy last season in David Hanko. So listen, they got their guy. They got the stuff they wanted done, and they made it happen. It's as simple as that. And listen, you can't really disagree with that one of the day, but I hope so, Chelsea. I hope so. These deals get done very soon because, again, at the end of the day, we want to get these deals done. We want to help out the team. We want to make sure that we get stuff done as soon as possible for a financial reason here, as soon as possible. But we move. But I feel like that's the Chelsea news. What I spoke about: Xavi, Hato, Felix, Benfica, Veiga, Atleti. I thought this would be like a little bit of a long stream, but the game is the game. But you know what? We'll end it here. I'm going to pass you guys over to my good friend, Mr. Marshall DBDX. I thought there was going to be a lot more news. Apparently, I was lying to myself, but we move. But listen, that's all I'll say for now. We'll keep it pushing. Maresca out, Tuchel out. Let me make sure. You can catch me there. You can catch me there, of course. I will be here. Oh man, I want to be Xavi Hato to be here so they're already for pieces. I agree. You go live tomorrow. I will go live tomorrow. But listen, there's not that much to talk about because, of course, these deals need to happen. We need to see what happens here. There's not that much to really say at this point. We're going to be going to Marshall channel, which will be live just in an hour. I'll be there. We'll discuss it a little bit more there because there's nothing really to discuss at this point. But we move. As always, I've been your host, the most of Bridge Nation. Peace and blessings as always. Tuchel out and Maresca out. Peace and